You're still on Good Morning Anambra. It's a Thursday morning and we have been enjoying ourselves, getting one information on the other that will make us better in the Anambra, better Nigerians. And this morning, we want to go population-wise. We want to, why the federal government has not commenced census, although we all know that they said it's going to happen next year, but then why has it not been so over the years? How prepared are they? The National Population Commission to give us a credible and well-balanced census. Because when we have a good census, that means that we will have a very balanced development. All our needs, all our cares will be taken care of, the government, and then we'll also do our responsibilities when we have a credible population census. And so this morning, we want to talk about population. Ugonna? How old were you when we had the last census?
I was pretty...
He cannot remember. Don't mind him. Don't worry.
But I've come of age, at least to understand and know that there should be a population census that probably did not take place. And, issues and reasons and excuses, came up.
For not providing amenities.
Why is that? We just keep hearing about figures now and time again that, okay, Nigeria is 200 million people, Nigeria is 140 million people, Nigeria. We don't even exactly know the population of the country, and it's important to really talk about it.
Okay. So have you had this hunger for a good population census?
I've always had it, because for me, if that is done, if that is settled, then, we can chat, we can be focused on the country. Because how would the government even prepare for people, for population they don't even know about?
Okay.
You understand? So it's important that, I've always had that hunger, and now it's actually coming up. I think it's a very good thing and a good idea.
Okay, so we're taking a look at the upcoming trial housing and population census. Yes, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We brought in experts who know what they are doing. How is it going to trend in Anambra State? How prepared are we? What are our roles and responsibility as this trial population census takes place? And so in the studios with us this morning, like I said, we have experts who will give us all the details that we need. And then starting from our left, we have first, Mr. Chidezuke, KSM, MNI. He's the commissioner representing Anambra State in the National Population Commission. Sir Chide, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Ify.
Thank you very much. And of course, we also have TPL, the town planner himself, Olase Okuchukwu. He's the State Director, National Population Commission. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much, Ify and his colleague.
Okay, so starting off, when you talk about trial population census, somebody will say, Nigeria, Dakwa. What's trial population census? Can you please explain to us what this actually means, Sir Chidezuke?
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity to be here. Anambra ekene unu nke onye chinyazelu. Trial population and housing census is something like you say mock WAEC. This is to enable us get our equipment, logistics, and all the variables. We'll try them out. You see, you are talking of doing a population census in the entire country. And we have 774 local governments. And that means every single inch of space of Nigeria where people live, they must be counted. And that is why the theme for 2023 population and housing census is what I have on my cap. You see, it's clear. You count, be counted. That is, every single Nigerian is important. And why is Nigerian important? Apart from being a human being created by God, you must be counted so that it will enable the government plan. I like your introduction. Because when you talk of development, you have to talk of a plan. Because if you don't have a plan, how would you have development?
So in other words, the census theme, you count. First, government knows that you are relevant. Yes. And then you have to provide yourself to be counted. That's it.
We will come to you where you are. Not make yourself available, but we come to you where you are.
Okay.
And count you.
Let me hear from you now, trial census. You know, when people talk about trial, it's like, okay, let's try it if it's going to work or if it's not going to work. Is there a possibility that after this trial census, the main census may not happen?
No.
Because most times trial, you know,
yes,
you can try.
About the terminology trial.
Okay.
Because there are processes of conducting census. For information, we have already done first pre-test, second pre-test, and we're now doing trial census. What's the essence? As my commissioner said, to test the methodology we're going to use, modify it. If there's any things that are not yet in order, we fine-tune it. That's, in summary, the essence of what we are doing, so that we're not going to say that we didn't try it. So that word trial means to try all the processes, logistics, methodology, any other personnel, the equipment, all of them. And for information, we are doing digital census this time around. The word digital is just digital in its meaning. It's paperless. What we are using is that we started by doing what we call enumeration area demarcation, demarcating the whole country. As he said, it's population and housing census. We're not only counting people, we're also counting houses. All the houses, including where we're staying now, has a number in the pad, and we're using satellite imagery.
That means already you've collected.
We have collected that already.
You've enumerated before, like you said.
No, not enumeration. What we did is, that is enumeration demarcation area. What we mean by that is that just a small unit were carved out in each of the spaces in Nigeria where two enumerators can count. It's a map, which all the part of this country is in that our map, but it's a digital map. It's just satellite imagery. You have a Google map, you know, if I travel, you see all the buildings. That's the kind of thing we have done.
So are you trying to say now that every building in Nigeria is in that map?
Yes.
Exactly. Every building, every structure actually, not just building, every structure.
How did you know that?
Yeah, because we've seen it. We went there, we numbered it. With technology.
Okay.
If we numbered it with technology, and if you Google the place and, you know, with our app, that's why I say we will come to where you are. You don't need to come to us. We will come to where you are, because you already know where you are. After the training now, we are going to do house numbering and listing. And household listing. So that we will know people who are where. And when the enumeration starts, then we are coming again to count you.
You talked about house numbering, and I got worried because already we have an organization, an establishment that works on housing, house numbering. So I hope there's not going to be a clash between what you do and what the state organ does.
Absolutely no. Absolutely no. Our own numbering is digital.
Okay.
And it's for our purpose to enable us to do the counting.
Okay.
That's quite impressive. But then again, I know there are houses that are not numbered. So, okay, you say you did it through digital. The houses that are not numbered, how would you guys, fix such houses? Because I know there's some places, some parts of Nigeria, you wouldn't even know that there's a house there. How are you guys going to get to places like that?
You see the house through satellite. You see it on the satellite image. You see everything in space. And when we went for enumeration area demarcation, we gave that every structure a number. That's the number we are talking of, not the street number, the local government or the state gives.
You know, when INEC started trying to give Nigerians credible elections, they had some issues with technology.
Yes.
They had to develop a lot of apps until they got to Beavers. Do you understand? So have you been able to, employ ICT, to get beautiful apps, reliable apps that can help you in this job?
Yes. What we have done, as I told you, we started with satellite image. And then when you get a satellite image of a place, you see the buildings. And as Commissioner said, we numbered all the buildings with that app. And the building means both buildings that are residential, commercial, all the structures in a Korka have been numbered.
In
because
very remote
you see
areas.
the satellite image,
Okay.
you number them. Then you now carve that place out, and then we'll call it enumeration area demarcation. So as I was saying, we have developed this app. Before, we printed it out in a map and started numbering them in a sheet of paper. Later, we sent to computer. Later, we developed the app that you number straight inside the tablet, the buildings you see in the, just in the field. After that, you now take what we call the statistics of the household. What we mean by household? A household is one person. It can be a bachelor living. It can be a family married man. It can be a married man with one children or two, just one child or two children. Then what are we doing there? We now get the household. After getting the household, we estimated the population. That was during the enumeration area demarcation. And as we said, 21 local government areas were visited. All the PGs were involved. All the traditional rulers were involved. All other stakeholders helped us to number all these buildings. It's not done by us alone. What we are now doing is to test that thing we have done. And we're doing it in Idemili South. For information, it's only in Idemili South, and the South is representing the whole Southeast. We are doing complete enumeration.
In Idemili South?
In Idemili South.
Okay.
All the 7 towns, Alo, Oketiti, Nobi, Ujoto, Akuku, Oba. We are training people there. We are training 1,247 functionaries.
Is it community members or just people?
Community members. Okay. It was Joe first. Okay. They are what we call e-recruitment, but later the commissioner emphasized on that area.
I want you to, this app we are talking of, is not just developed by us. It's also an app that has an international recognition, the CS Pro. It's what the United Nations, they also know, because we are working in tandem with the UNFPA. So there's nothing to worry about that. That is why we need to see it in action. That is why we are doing the trial, so that things that are not yet fine-tuned will be fine-tuned come next year when the actual census will take place.
Let's talk about the timing of this trial. When did it start? When is it going to end? And when would the NPC and the Population Commission certify that they are ready to go on to the next thing?
Yeah, we are ready. That's why we've started by training the personnel. Like he was telling you, we did e-recruitment. And that e-recruitment means that people applied online. It's all part of the process, because next year, you're not going to be carrying sheets of paper. You tell people to line up.
And start ticking and all these.
No. So that's why all these things are connected. If you are not in Idemili South, if you are not in any of the towns in Idemili South, you cannot register. The whole idea is that we want the people from the community to be the ones that will take the lead in the enumeration, because they know the place, they know the individuals, they know the households. So this is not a question of bringing people from outside the place to come and do it. The essence is that both the people who are the natives and the people living there, they're all part of the community. So once you register to work within the geofenced area, fine, you're going to work.
So in the e-recruitment, what about people who are in that area but are not from there? They don't have the opportunity or the privilege to work.
That's what I'm saying. It's both for let me put it this way, the residents. Yes.
If you're not from that area, you're not qualified to be a part of.
No, because what I was asking.
That's why I said the residents.
Yes.
Residents include both the.
No, I'm not talking about indigents. As far as you don't live in that community, you're not a part of of those recruited.
No.
And I was also wondering why the choice of Idemili in this region. What stood it out?
When you're doing the statisticians, it's a matter of sampling.
Okay.
Yes, it's not because Idemili is. Yes.
Thank you very much. Before we go take a break, because we went outside and asked people, what they feel about the trial census. Would like you to tell us what do you expect us as citizens to do when the trial census commences?
Okay. Thank you for timeline. We started our training and we're going to end on 11th of this month. We're entering the 7 towns from 11th to start house numbering and household listing. After listing the households, we send it to Abuja for validation. Because what we are doing is real time. As you are numbering a building, Abuja is seeing the building. It's real time. So after the house numbering and household listing, the next thing now is to validate what you have done. They do it for 2 days and confirm that all the buildings in the Idemili South have been numbered. If they see any unnumbered building, you have failed the validation. They refer you back. They mean the enumerators and the supervisors. You go back and complete the building. And because it's digital, assuming you stop on building number 123, and they discover one, you go and complete it. We will now building number 124. Then after that validation, we now start the proper enumeration, counting of people. We do that from 24th to 28th. Then what we are now going to do is to do mop-up. We're going to stop officially on 30th of July in the Idemili South. And as we're enumerating, they will be seeing what we are doing real time. It will be reporting on the server. So that's the process.
What is critical for you is to know that this exercise is real time. When he talks of taking the things to Abuja, nobody is going to take it by hand or by road or take a bus or flight to Abuja. No, it is done real time because they are looking at you in a situation room. They are looking at the Idemili South. Yes.
So that when somebody doesn't do it well, you...
Exactly. If you go to a situation room in Abuja, every state has a booth.
Okay.
And the people in the situation room are also being trained. So these are, you now see why it is trial. We want to make sure that every aspect of what we are doing, the people in the situation room is able to see what is happening in either Akuku or Oba or Nobi or Ketiti. And so it is in as it is in Idemili South. So it is in different parts of the country where they are doing, in the other 30 states, they are doing senatorial zones, some EAs in senatorial zones. But it's only the 6 states, the 6 states in the 6 geopolitical zones that are doing that we are doing complete enumeration.
Okay.
Just like she said, we'll be going for a short break. When we return, we'd want to know the challenges, that you
envisage,
yes,
or probably that you feel you will encounter during the period.
All right.
So
We'll
let's.
be right back.
Yes, we'll
Stay
be right
with
back.
us.
Thank you.
To every examination, there should be a mock examination, there should be a trial to whatever to know the pros and cons, the benefits and the demerits. So, to that effect, I think there should be trial census, which should be the mock census, to know how the main census will be like, to test the instrument or whatever that is being used, you understand, to know the functionality or otherwise of it. So, to that extent, I think there's every need for trial census, preparatory to the main census.
Trial population, I think, is a pre-population census that is carried out to have a fair idea of what the population census will look like. That's what I think, that's what it's that. And if it is done in terms of housing, it will help the government and the relevant stakeholders to know the steps that we're taking to forestall housing shortage on the part of the populace.
Ịgụ ọnụ abụrụ bidoro taa ọ dịbala gboo bụnagodo n'akwụkwọ nsọ mgbe a mụrụ Kraịst na-eji ego ọnụ ya anaghị agba ihe tọọchị obodo ọbụla na-eto eto ga na-agụ ọnụ mara onye ha dị n'ọsị na ọgụgụ ọnụ ka eji eme bọjetị malụ ka obodo si esi na-eke ihe ha ifefa nwe ya na ọ dị mkpa bụrụ ihe kwesịrị ekwesị na a ga-akwado onwe anyị ka e nwee ike wee mee ya wee nwee ike wee na-eke ihe anyị mara onye anyị dị nwe ndị n'ala Igbo otu Anambra nọ o nwere achọ m ịkpọ afa mmadụ ma afọ obodo mana Anambra ama na onwe steeti ndị anyị kacha nwee mmadụ ụba mmadụ mana agụghị ọnụ ọfụma na-abụ mezie asị na ndị a dị mkpụrụ na-abụ ndị nke niile 1,000 ewetazi ihe a ga-enye 1,000 mmadụ enye ndị asị ha dị mkpụrụ na-abụ mana ndị asị mkpụrụ na-abụ ruru 10,000 ọ afụfụ so na most South East states na-ata na population census anyị mara nke esi wee mee nye ana m ọ dị mkpa kwesị ekwesị na a ga-eme ya bụ population census ọgụgụ ọnụ ahụ agụọ ya ọfụma na mmadụ riri nne n'ala Igbo anaghị achọ mmadụ achọ.
Since the population was conducted in 2006, I have not seen any benefit accruing from it, because if you are to use what has happened or the population figure, then it means that you are trying to deprive certain people what they're supposed to earn from the federation account and other source of income. So what I will advise, because there is no benefit, the only benefit coming or accruing from population census is for the government to know how to plan their budget. Then for that, it means that having not be sure of what we have been doing, is it not better for the government to look back and discover that whenever you conducted a population census, you must implement it to the letter? I therefore advise that as they are trying to know what's actually the implementation process of the previous population, let us also have them in mind, let them have it in mind that in as much as you are planning for the new one, make good use of the old one. That is what I want to say.
Yes, welcome back. Those were the opinions of those on the streets that we met and spoke with. Remember that here on ABS TV this morning, we are talking about trial population and housing census. It's upcoming. It's already on because trainings are on for those who will participate. And then remember that the theme for next year's population census is what? You count. Yes, Ugonna. You count. So you be counted, okay? Avail yourself.
No, I can't wait. I can't wait to be counted. At least if they count me, at least the president knows that there is somebody so here.
And then know your needs.
Scholarship.
Scholarship, don't worry. But the thing is that, if you interview Onyibo, about population, hey, they don't trust you. They will tell you they've been hit in the past. In the past I've trusted them, but we were not counted. Just like what we do in elections. People feel that their votes don't count. That's how people feel that, when they avail themselves of the opportunity of being counted, it doesn't count. Because somewhere, according to them, in Nigeria, that even, hectares of lands are counted as human beings, goats are counted as human beings, the buildings are not counted and all these. And you're telling me it's housing and population census. How are you assured or how can you assure the people of utmost trust in NPC this time around?
If I were movement in Yabo, now, this time around, Obros Ife Anakaka. If I be Ife Ogabo, Umwebe Ayedena, Quima, Ife now, Quanokata, Quamilike Fue. Imagine Rezie, Mananka, Imwero, Ife Gefunu. Because na Ifeji Naka, Eji Anaka, Abia Ebanua. A register that is Abia no. It's enough and can a register no. Can I indicate Nasava? Yes.
We know last election.
Yes. So now anything I name real time.
Okay.
It's not a matter of anytime ije kwa nikuku ije
na internet
na
website
internet na satellite
satellite. Okay.
If you see what is being done, if you go to a portal, you see what is being done. And then imana 2006 census last. My FM, Anambra, my FM, so over if I gabia, we got it. Mana, and my own divine. Go no one a day, no, we are no, no, I got go on Ebino. And it doesn't matter Ebino on Nigeria. Onye Bibu Gapota. You got to go? Onye Bibu Gapota, your local government Gapota, your town Gapota. So, Casey Fozo.
Just trust us, that's what they were saying.
Oh, when it was like you can have Unu saying, if I were no saying, now, in the past, yes, a lot of things may have happened that elicited that distrust.
Okay.
But we have so much improved that now, just like INEC, any opportunity or anything game that if I eme aburife ge dohanya.
Okay.
And that is if I na yo kandi ba bia pota nyela ayaka.
Okay.
Makana if I na eme bulibu ụmụaka ndị ga-agụ ọnụ a achọka agbafu me by Fabia jụọ ga ajụjụ ọkwa iza ajụjụ Zaya truthfully.
Okay. Just before you say this, Ugonna, you have the next question, but then to say one or two things about this, but we're not disposed to pick your calls. So on the National Population Commission Anambra State ajụjụ ọbụla nke ọbụla edoro gị anya ka ihe a na-eme ha bụ ka obi dọlụ ndị mmadụ obi jụrụ anyị malụ that they said we should trust them. Let's trust them maka ụmụnne anyị na-eme ya. So call the lines, the number on the screen, and then ask your questions or make your suggestions, anything that will make this trial census work.
the officials of MPC, Kowaloon Ofuma. Let me ask you, Joachim. Population census is very important. The last time it happened is 2006. What are the positives of this MPC? What are the positives of population census? Why should people come out to be counted? What is the benefit? What do I stand to gain being counted during the population census?
Thank you very much. I'm a town planner by profession, and we require data. Any person or even from the family setup, like if you see your mama, you're not getting. If you don't have data, how do you plan? That's number one. And that is the summary of population census. One, to have data for plan.
And we're going to go about it when you were. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Please, who's on the line and where are you calling from?
Yes, Chiwayo Fred, my name.
Kebi Sabo.
Yeah, Chiwayo Fred, my name.
Okay. Gani.
Go ahead.
Because, what I have to ask about this country, how about people that are travelers? For instance, from Onitsha, traveling to Sokoto to buy something and come back. How rare the counter?
Okay, see why Dalo. Good question. Okay, Dalo, so Magawenti.
Dalo.
TPL.
Onye na-travel from Onitsha to Sokoto, a ga-agụ ya ọnụ maka onye Nigeria ka ọ bụ. Kọmishọn ekwuo na onye ọbụla bụ onye Nigeria anaghị agụ ya ọnụ. So ọ bụrụ na mgbe anyị agụ ọnụ na travel ruo na Sokoto, nọzie na Sokoto mgbe ahụ agụrụ na agụ ego na Sokoto maka ọ na Sokoto ka ị nọ. And iru ebe a ikwuo na ebe onye abụọ nọ n'eni dị na Anambra local gọọmenti. Nke izizi a na-etinye ọ ndị kọmishọn anyị mere ọ dị possible. Ọ so n'ihe confidence yi na-ekwu ọ na-akọwa eji dizi iche maka anyị nwa emego 1991 census mee 2006 by God grace mekwuo nke retire mana o nwere ihe dị iche na 1991 nwee ihe dị iche na 2006 nke a bụ kpochie anya maka satellite imagery that digital methodology iru kịta sị na unu adị ebe a na mmadụ 1000 ya they will see it populating the building. All the building niile ya dị populated. Ọ bụ na mkpọ ọkụkọ ka iji ekpoke mmadụ 1000 aya afọ ya. So that's the confidence of digital census. So ihe na-akọwara ya bụ na ya agụ ya ọnụ ebe ọ ga. Anyị nwekwa ihe a na ebe ọbụla within that period. Yes. And anyị nwekwa ndị ha na-akpọ special population. Ndị ara. For instance, homeless people, not also in there, Mandana Uno, and I go on at 12 midnight. Mbosia na gone. 12 midnight that day. And we have a census day. How many are gone now? Maybe tomorrow. 12 midnight tomorrow.
Why?
The reason, but Hana Rahowa Ora Nabari. Over nega 12 midnight to get him or to Omapona. Before I try again, it will be in the night. Exactly. So that was why we count all the homeless people by 12 midnight of the census day.
Yes, thank you. So
you
continue with what you were saying about the benefits, because just like we've been talking, she's been talking, he's been talking, the people have lost trust. The faith in NPC is no longer there. Because if you tell me about data, you need to count because you need data and all of that. How has it benefited Nigeria? How has it benefited the Anambra? We have to narrow it down to Anambra State.
Mgbe bata onwe okwu ife ikwu. Mgbe ọ bụrụ ife oge nwa. You said na anasi na Nigeria dey about.
Yes.
For how long no? Kagana say Nigeria dey about, and I am a giant of Africa. I am you can't say America kitaga say na fa day. Una.
Exact. Yes. Yes.
That is what, and that will be the base of planning. When you know your number, Imaluna, in our plan for Idemili South, or in our plan for Akuku, or in our plan for Ba. Imalune, ne Madone, in a plan for. So that you man me over. Or man take one less.
What about people who are given birth? And because we know
Can you if I can put the base from then? And with the other thing like birth registration, population commission, and all these things gabu on a daily always you go gabu always. Obuluzie anamunwa on a drop etosieme elsewhere in the world. Once a child is registered, obayenonogo.
Now, you see this as a dress rehearsal, this trial as a dress rehearsal, you know. But then, do you foresee any challenge that might set you off the track? If it's from you people, how do you hope to address it? If it's from us, the people, what do you want us to do? But let's speak this call first. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, because sorry to come in again and see where you're going from Nini again, Mama Nacha.
Okay.
Okay, another question, go ahead.
Because just to help the people, the commission and so on.
Okay.
For instance,
Go ahead, CY.
yeah, how can we be sure, or you can be sure about, for instance, in a family, in a family we have 7 children of the same parentage. Then 4 have died and 3 remain. Then the person in that house comes in and count all of them, both living and dead. How can you notify them or show what they have done?
Okay.
Right. Thank you very
Let
much.
them answer. But I'm wondering if they will see the spirit of those 3 dead people. 4 dead people. CY. Okay.
I think
Yes,
the
TPL.
method, if I enable de facto census. De facto means nega for Madion. Madion on a studio. If he Madi say Madi is seen on a Uganda. Obon for Madianya, is a happy computer. So you have one de facto
The person you're
enumeration.
counting.
Yes.
De facto.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the language. De facto.
So, in other words, you are asking people, will you make announcements on that day? You know, like in the community, you come, you're working in collaboration with the PG, the Igwe, you know, the community leadership to make people available in their homes. Yes. Do you have to go to the market to count them as well?
I all the communities. We spoke to the community leaders. We spoke to the stakeholders in a family meeting. And if the whole essence of if I name for the first time, Kamalukeno Unaide. And in Kiku no onya anoria, Monya anoya. If I name make it abo, de facto, onya afro, anya manguya. It doesn't mean nebono na manguya because if you ke malo ndi, for instance, it's ke malo ndo obone no na Nigeria. You can easily know because the data adigo. That is the pocha dine if any na aneku. And overall only oba nwura anwa was no mmadụ.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, of course, before we go, I know time is really not our friend. Still on the trial population issue. The Anambra needs to know that it's important that when this begins, I know the training has started, but when the program itself properly begins, that they should come out to count. What would you be telling them? Because like I said, they just have to have faith again. A lot of people have lost faith in, in the fact that is there going to be a population? Will it happen? You know, because I was given an instance that there was a time, the last time it happened, 2000, there was a time it was also supposed to happen, and all of a sudden it didn't happen again. Are we going to be expecting anything like that this time?
So if I'm a no, Otaka Jinjo or the man. If I na a mezi, if I na yo, if I na using the bank at Tabuna, Ogi Lugo Koga Adema.
Remember, you did talk about the challenge. That means everything is perfect.
Open everything is perfect. If I na try. What I go
so during this process of trial, on any other thing you guys have found
like
out?
Maybe on our side or maybe on your side.
Or I may say, if I need a son, if I take into account.
All right.
If I need
that's
a
why
son,
it's a trial.
Yes, that's why it's a trial. If I need a son, if I get my attitude and the attitude I have, so that now, where I get menke next year, Amalong, if the I got in the danya, na the Roma, then on our own part, open equipment at the Roma, Amalo, if I get men, Makana, Obrona, I want I so that the Mbaiga, I say, Nefa. Adroma, or one of the app may issue. Please fix this today in Kanuma or them.
Yes.
She's been talking about challenges.
Challenge,
manpower. What is the what do you people is there going to be a problem when the
yes Negamunti because he can na waja and will you can manpower mambo problem na buying
because you're recruiting.
What if and when you can manpower mambo problem na buying mana I nanya that the manpower mambo problem because Nigeria if you do Nigeria with manpower onye akuzelo omalo and onya me ije me ife aka malo my ife akuzi more than enough ko nwe ife oga ka ga eme iji kuzi ka ndị ga alụ nya wolu mata. And what is important is our attitude. Who made that bonai? Because if I name we fed them back. Makanaya Marili, Omuro Ifi, Onabu, Ibia na in your larger family. Imamazimado no de. How can I be fine and me fa?
Okay, so you're working with the community leadership. That's what it means. To make sure na agulonyo bono.
Yes. Na yokuzi ndi Anambra. Kafamalu ni ife de etu a na emekwa na Idemili South.
Okay.
And not only no na eme Idemili South. No na emekwa in many parts of Nigeria. In all the parts of Nigeria mana also na Anambra na 5 other states. Na geopolitical zone na Adamawa before northeast. Nasarawa before north central. Anambra before southeast. Ogun before southwest. Bayelsa before south. Katsina before northwest. You know, so no it's a case where Messiah. Then in other states, and they may na senatorial zones. How many EAs?
5 EAs.
5 EAs now 5 senatorial zones. Now I mean the 3 senatorial zones of each state. Apart from the states, they full enumeration now 1 local government. Enumeration area. Onya kokowa bugu na mbosi na enumeration area bu ebe kewata mmadụ na-abọga alụ ọrụ for the period I ga-eme the enumeration.
Okay.
I can go the entire Nigeria.
Okay.
The entire 924,000 square kilometers of Nigeria.
Period.
Yes. So that the mmadụ na-abọ ga-enwe ike ịlụ ọrụ na ya. Ka anyị jiri asị gị na ife adịgokwanụ mma.
Okay, when we have a proper population census, so here in Ayondibani, okay, I am manfu. You know, yesterday we had a program, we said it's for us. You know, it's for us. So, Okanya Manfu, I get Kitana to Okanya, and that's why everybody should come out. Idemili South, local government area, Bikono Potano ni boyfriend the National Population Commission na yono. Kono potani igwe ka agwo no amali felutegi obuna agrogi ekenwogi. That's what it means. So let's all come out together and do the needful. We want to thank you immensely, the commissioner representing the National Population Commission, Anambra State, Sachidi Ezoke, MNI, KSM. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
And I want to say a very big thank you to Mr. TPL Olase Okuchuku Joachim, the State Director, National Population Commission. Thank you so much for joining us.
So we're expecting they are expecting you when? The main calculation. 11th. So just stay on. 11th with the D-Day. We'll start from the
main enumeration.
Yes. So enumeration is on the 11th. So 11th.
All right. Remember, you count and be counted.
Yes, exactly. I've already counted you. So count me as well.
Okay, you're counted. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, bye.
Darling.